Network.
That is right, Andrew. This is the Midnight Ocean Radio Show and podcast. And I am your host, Jeff Norton. You can join me here every weeknight from 10 p.m. till 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or on the web at www.themidnightocean.com. For those that are joining us for the first time tonight, I just want to say thank you. If you are watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That helps us out tremendously. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, there's a little special message rolling across the screen for you. They're back up doing their old tricks again. They deleted one of our shows last night. I have no idea. Just said it's deleted. It's gone. Sayonara. Adios. They didn't even do that. They just sent me a message that said deleted. So it sent me to a page on why it was deleted, which had a list of like 50 things. Oh, wow. Gotta love Facebook. Really, really gotta love Facebook. But if you are wondering what a Movember is, for those that know or joined us last night, listen to the last night's show. Oh my gosh, I can feel it coming on. Hold on one second. I got to do the most important thing. I want to say it's been a while since I've talked about Timmy Hortons. Timmy Hortons, the best coffee you'll ever drink. Let me take a swig of that, see if it clears my throat. Hold on. Wow. I don't know what came over me. But, so the month of Movember, it's not November, it's Movember. Movember is an organization who raises money for male-related cancer, prostate cancer, testicular cancer, things like that. And the way it goes is on the first day of November, you shave your facial hair. Now, for those that don't know, I did it a little bit step further. Yeah, that's right. It's starting to come back already. Wow. I kind of like it. My hats seem to stick a little bit better. It's like Velcro and stuff. So on the first day of November, you shave all of your facial hair. And that is supposed to get the topic, the conversation going on why you did that. And then you can inform them about the movement called Movember. Now, I will tell you, I have joined up with, I'm on Team Barnacle Nerdgasm. He's a guy that I watch. I love his shows. If you're a geek, talk about the ultimate geek. He has definitely got it going on in the geek world. So I definitely listen to his podcasts, and I support everything that he does through his different various charitable organizations. And that's the team that I joined up with. And that is the team that I want you to join up with. If you're interested in getting more information, go out to moteam.co/Barnacles Nerdgasm. We have the link in the descriptions to make life a little bit easier for you guys, because I know Barnacles is kind of hard to spell and it's actually spelled wrong, but that's a long story. So for those that are listening on the radio, the web address is moteam, TEAM.co. There's no M.co. That's moteam.co/Barnacles, and that's spelled BARNACULES -, Nerdgasm, NERDGASM. And, you know, right before the show, I did go out there a little bit earlier today to kind of see how we're doing. I get a ton of emails lately on all the donations that are coming in, kind of keep us up. So let's see how much we've raised so far. So so Barnacles Nerdgasm, Jerry Berg, aka Jerry Berg, has raised so far in 2 days. The team has raised over $1,800, almost $1,900 in 2 days. So get out there, join. Of course, you can go to themidnightocean.com on the right-hand side. If you're on your computer, it'll be the banner. You click on that. That'll take you there, and you can sign up, make your donation, join the team. Hold on. Let me clear my throat one more time. Wow. Yeah. don't know what's going on there. Hope I'm not getting sick. But the other thing, so you can click on the link there. If you're browsing it through your mobile device, you have to scroll down past the listed shows, and you'll see it there. You'll see the mustache and everything. So great organization, and get behind them. If you have a family member that's been affected, especially males, we get left out a lot of things, with breast cancer awareness and everything. And I'm not denouncing any of those programs. They're all great. But this one here is definitely for men, testicular and pain and prostate cancer. And if you have a family member that has died or is going through that, it's not a pleasant disease. Cancer in itself is just a horrible, horrible disease. And it just, we have friends, I have friends, family members who are going through it. And I'm telling you, it just rocks your world. And it's the worst way to go. Well, without further ado, let's get back into tonight's show. Now, tonight is one of those nights. I kind of left tonight as an open-ended night. And the reason being is because, well, I'll be honest with you. I'm a Cubs fan. I've always been a Cubs fan. And as you guys know, Cubs have finally made it to the World Series. They're up 5-1 in the bottom of the fifth. So I didn't know how tonight was going to go. And I knew that most of America is probably watching the baseball game anyways. So I didn't want to schedule a guest that would be unfair to that guest. But one of the things that we have been doing here in the Midnight Ocean Studios is that we have been remastering some old radio shows from the 1940s. I'm fascinated by old time radio. And I am so jealous, so envious of my family, my parents, because they grew up in the heyday of old time radio. Think about it. This is, in the day of imagery and TV and manipulate and all the things that they feed you through your senses on TV. Think about, as a family, curling up on the floor with some popcorn and listening to the old fireside chats that the president would give, or listening to Little Orphan Annie or The Lone Ranger or Orson Welles, Sherlock Holmes, the classics. And it was still one of these things where you had to close your eyes and you had to imagine being there. The scene wasn't painted for you. It was painted in words, but not in visual. So your actor could be whoever. It could be you. It could be your best friend. It could be whoever. Those were the golden days of radio. And I'm all about bringing those days back because, to be honest with you, we've cut the cord here at the Norton House. I'm not watching the game on TV. I'm watching it through the internet, just getting live updates through the internet. We've completely cut the cable here. And I'll tell you, it's awesome. It is incredible. And, I got so much more of my life back. But I'll tell you, I can see sitting by the radio. We do. We here in the Norton household, we listen to a lot of radio. The problem is that a lot of the radio we listen to is not the type of radio we like. And so it's my goal is to bring back some of the old time radio, some of the programming, some of the classic stuff. During the day, you got politics, right? That's usually during the day. You might have a few sports shows or whatever, but it's basically all politics. Well, we know that's all in the can. And, when you're awake, I don't need to stay awake. I'm already awake. I already know what's going on. So there's some other programming that we're trying to bring back, and this is our effort to do that. So I want you guys to sit back, enjoy tonight's show, and man, do we have a doozy for you. And first off, like I said, we found this gem of production that was done out of WKY in Oklahoma City. And it was written by Scott Bishop. Now, let me give you a little bit of background. So Dark Fantasy was an American radio supernatural thriller anthology series. It had a short run of 31 episodes, debuting in November 14th, 1941, and ending June 19th, 1942. Its writer was Scott Bishop, also known for his work on The Mysterious Traveler. It originated from the station in WKY in Oklahoma City and was heard Friday nights on NBC stations. The stories found a nationwide audience almost immediately. Yeah, it's great stuff. So the first show that we want to share with you tonight is called The House of Bread. Now, The House of Bread is an extremely weird tale, and the writer of the tale, Scott Bishop, begins the story by telling the listeners that he fell asleep at his typewriter one evening and had a dream. In the dream, he found himself sitting on a high precipice and looking down on the world. Bishop believed that he was alone until an old man began to speak to him. He was very wise and who identified himself as Word. And he offered Bishop much more wisdom before telling him to seek out the house of bread. And the story goes on as Bishop returns to the world to seek out the house of bread. So without further ado, I present to you Scott Bishop and radio station WKY Oklahoma City presentation of Dark Fantasies, The House of Bread.
Dark Fantasy. I am the dweller in the house of bread. I'm Scott Bishop. I create fantasies for the radio. I write weird stories for magazines. I write books on strange subjects. Authors who do these things sometimes attract odd happenings. I don't ask listeners to believe my stories. I do not expect you to believe what I'm going to tell you now. As I was sitting alone at my typewriter one evening, plotting in my mind an outline for a story, my room was quiet. There was a soft, spicy odor of incense being wafted in from some other portion of the house. An organ was playing softly somewhere in the distance. That was when I fell asleep. And in my dream, I found myself alone high on a precipice, the highest in all creation, where I could observe with a naked eye all the far-flung wonders of the universe, where I could overlook that common clay that mankind calls the earth. And as I watched high on that vantage point,
why do you sigh, my son?
Oh, I thought I was alone.
Are any of us ever alone?
No, I suppose we're not. But it's so desolate up here, so far from anything else. And I seem to be searching for something.
Could it be, my son, that the reason is you are searching for the truth?
The truth. What is the truth?
You ask that? Then asking, you surely must not know.
The truth. Is it some vague, inconsequential thing? Some mythical nothingness? Some non-existent wishfulness?
Truth, my son, is neither inconsequential, nor vague, nor mythical.
If I could only believe that.
You can believe it, if you will.
Can one believe something he's never seen?
Perhaps.
You think me a cynic, don't you, sir?
I haven't said I do.
Nor have you denied it.
My son, look upon me. What do you see?
Why, a man. Like myself. A little older, perhaps.
And perhaps wiser.
I make no boast of any wisdom I might have.
I am the way, and the truth, and the light.
What was that?
Merely words spoken by a man who was about to die.
I know. The Bible.
The Bible.
The way, and the truth, and the light. If I could only find them.
You will find them, if you look far enough.
Who are you?
I am just a man.
But your name?
It is a very common name. You'll find it in any city directory or telephone book.
Then why do you conceal it?
I don't conceal it. My name is Word.
I can't agree that it's such a common name.
Nor could you agree that it is unusual.
No.
Names are such temporary things. You can say to me, my name is Bishop, and there is no way for me to know whether you are good or evil, religious or atheistic, learned or ignorant, an emperor or a beggar.
But you've told me more about yourself than just your name.
Have I?
But haven't you? Just a moment ago you reminded me that your greater age has made you wiser than I.
Well?
If you're so much wiser, perhaps you can tell me where to find what I seek.
Where to find the truth?
The truth. The light, peace, happiness, contentment. All those things man wants so eagerly, yet seldom finds in sufficiency.
He only fails to find them, my son, because he is blind to them.
Then they are real? They do exist?
I have said that they do.
Then I beg of you to help me find them. I beg of you.
That, my son, I cannot do. For it is given no one to help another find those things which you seek. You must search them out in your own way. You must exert your own efforts in discovering them.
But can't you tell me anything? Anything at all?
I would like nothing better than to disclose everything to you. But this much I can say.
Yes?
If you are sincere in wishing to find the truth, if you really desire to know the way of light and happiness and peace, if you would know the road to all these majestic things, then seek you the house of bread. Remember the house of bread. Seek you the house of bread.
But wait, I say. Come back. Don't leave me now. Where is that house? Where will I find it? Where will I find the house? Tell me, O wise one. Where will I find the house of bread? I've already told you I was dreaming. I make no secret of that. At first, I didn't tell my dream to anyone. Instead, I cherished it. Gave it many hours of deep thought and serious contemplation. I didn't even tell Sonia. Not at first. I gave much thought to the things the man on the mountaintop had said to me. Those lines he quoted from a book almost as old as Christianity itself. And the house of bread. Where was it? Could I find it? I resolved to try, so I went to my boss.
Are you trying to tell me, Bishop, that you're leaving?
Regretfully, yes.
But your work, your future.
I wonder, sir, if there is a future.
Well, Bishop, what in tarnation's come over you? You've got a great future. Your books are selling like peanuts at a circus. Here's a wire from fantastic periodicals. They want a contract for a series of 12 short stories about the supernatural. That's $3,000. $250 apiece. That's not hay. Oh, good Lord, man. Are you out of your mind? Why, think of the years you've spent building up the reputation you've got. Think of those years you studied Greek and Latin and philosophy during the day and wrote cheap, sensational nonsense for the pops at night to earn your education. And think of the trunk full of rejection slips you got from the slicks before you made the grade. Think of the money you've spent on travel and research.
That's just it, boss. I am thinking of all those things. So what? So I've worked hard and maybe I'm a success. Who can say?
Maybe you're a success. Maybe you're a success. Well, if you do leave, where are you going?
I'd be glad to answer that if I possibly could.
You mean you won't tell me?
I mean, I don't know.
Bishop, I'll tell you what I'll do. You take a vacation. Yeah, that's it. A rest. A week. 10 days. 2 weeks. Take as much time as you like. Then, when you come back, you'll feel better.
I don't think it's going to be that easy.
Oh, Bishop, what in the name of heaven's come over you? Don't you think you at least owe me an explanation?
Yes, I guess I do. I owe anyone an explanation as you.
Well, some satisfaction in that, at least.
Well, it's like this. It all happened about 3 weeks ago, out at my study. I had a story to write for the radio, the Egyptian mummy thing. While I was trying to come up with a reasonable plot, I drifted off to sleep. Telling Sonia was different. The difference between telling her and the boss was like the difference between saying, I love you to an actress on the stage and the same thing to the girl you adore. It was pleasant and soothing because Sonia understood. Sonia understands everything. She wouldn't be Sonia if she didn't. So that's the way it is, Sonia.
Well, my darling, when are we leaving California? Scott, you look so strange. Didn't you think I'd want to go along?
But, Sonia, you want to seek it too?
What better thing could I do?
Yes, I might have known you'd wish to go along.
Do you mind so much?
Mind? Well, no, of course not. But the journey may be a long one.
I love long journeys.
And a difficult one.
I've always been used to difficulties.
It may take us to far-off places.
But I adore far-off places.
And it may end only in disappointment.
Haven't we shared many a disappointment, Scott?
Yes, indeed we have. I can think of no one I'd rather make the journey with.
Thank you, darling. When do we leave?
Well, whenever the house trailer's been remodeled and the car cylinders have been ground.
Where do we go first?
I don't know for certain.
It reminds me of Sir Galahad looking for the Holy Grail. Did he know where he was to begin his search?
More or less, I suppose.
Well, do you know where to start looking for the House of Bread?
Darling, I haven't the slightest idea where to begin.
Dearest, what do you suppose the man named Word meant by the House of Bread?
Yeah, I've asked myself that time and time again.
Surely not a real house.
No, I think not. Sonia, that phrase symbolizes something. But what?
Well, perhaps we shall find out someday.
That was when we decided to go seeking a house of bread. As I look back on it now, I don't blame the boss for thinking I was bombing. Here we were, Sonia and I, two supposedly sane, sensible people throwing up everything, kit and caboodle, and taking out to look for something more vague and unknown than Shangri-La or Arcadia or Nirvana, some other synonymous place. And all because of a dream. So we had the house trailer remodeled and the automobile repaired, and we drew our money from the banks and started out. It was the 21st day of May, my birthday, about 6 o'clock in the morning. I gathered up the morning newspapers on the way out of the house, breathed in some of the fragrant California atmosphere. Sonia wanted to stop at the used bookshop on Pacific Avenue, so we drove through the spacious Long Beach streets until we came to the place opposite the post office. Sonia bought 7 travel books and a back issue of a magazine that contained one of my better stories. She said she wanted to drive around Rainbow Pier once, so we did. Then we scooted over to L.A., picked up Highway 66, and drove to Las Vegas. We stayed in a tourist cabin at Boulder that night. Bright and early the next day, we drove over to the dam. So we began driving through the mountains out of the place. I noticed Sonia laboriously riding in a small but bulky. What's that, dear?
A 5-year diary. I thought we should log our trip. Perhaps we'll assemble enough material for you to write another book.
If we log our trip, my sweet, you'll have to do it. Me, I couldn't write an IOU with a pencil.
Oh, I've already started to keep it, Scott. Here, listen. May 21st. We left Long Beach at 7 a.m. and were out of Los Angeles by 10:30. The trip across the desert was uneventful, but quite pleasant, and we arrived at Las Vegas, Nevada, around... May 22nd, Flagstaff, Gallup, Albuquerque. May 23rd, Amarillo, Oklahoma City, Tulsa.
Kansas City, St. Louis, Chicago.
Philadelphia, Washington, New York City.
May 30th. We sailed today from Pier 17 for London aboard the SS America. As we stood at the ship's rail together, Sonia and I, we wondered just why we decided to leave the good old United States behind. Did something tell us our goal was far beyond the sea?
We have spent the past few days in London. It is now June 27th. We have seen the River Thames, London Bridge, Trafalgar Square, Downing Street, Westminster Abbey, Buckingham Palace, Piccadilly Circus, many other points of interest. We were especially attracted by a place called the Light of the World. But the people we asked there, and everywhere else, had never heard of the House of Bread.
July 16th. We're about to leave Paris for Madrid. Sonia and I sought diligently in this city of pleasure for the place the man called Word named to me. We searched everywhere. The magnificent Bois de Boulogne, boulevards, everywhere we could go. We did Eiffel Tower and the Louvre and Cardinal Richelieu's Palais Royal, the Cathedral of Notre Dame, Grand Opera House, the Arc of Triumph. Then we were attracted to the Place de la Concorde, which is called the Place of Peace. And we thrilled for a moment because we thought our search was ended. But when we asked about the House of Bread, folks only laughed at us.
July 30th, Madrid. For there are two classes of people, those who go to bed after 3 a.m. and those who get up before 4. No Spaniard had ever heard of the House of Bread.
Morocco, August 20th. Mingling with the Moors and Arabs. Wandering up narrow, crooked, dirty streets. Through shabby buildings and unkept markets. All with a general aspect of dilapidation and extreme neglect.
Tripoli, September 15th. Sponge fisheries, ostrich feathers, gold, ivory, rugs, and the ruins of a triumphal arch erected to Marcus Aurelius.
Cairo, Egyptians, Arabs, Nubians, and Turks in a city of mosques. High stone houses, barred windows, stately turrets and domes, rising above the surrounding dirt and squalor. And the temple where tradition has it that God talked with Moses. No encouragement here either. The house the man word spoke of is unknown. Is late October. November 6th.
November 16th.
November 26th.
December 5th.
December 15th.
December 25th. Jerusalem. The hill of Calvary, not far from the city gates, where once a humble man bearing a cross of misunderstanding and hate, far heavier than mere beams of wood, drank the last drop in the cup of human bitterness.
The city of God. City of David, Solomon, Cyrus, the Persian king.
Nebuchadnezzar the Babylonian, Alexander the Great, Constantine the Great, Pontius Pilate. Swoops down. Rain begins to fall. The newborn stars are hidden, all save one. There's one star to the east, quite close by. Scintillates through the gloom, through the downpour. Sends out its rays and engulfs us, enfolds us. Becomes almost a part of us. And Sonia writes that we must follow the beam it sends pounding vigorously earthward. Sonia, let's go back. Or at least find shelter. Scott, you're tired. We've tried to find shelter. Strange, the lodgings are completely filled.
Then we'd best go back to Jerusalem instead of wandering about here in the darkness.
Here. There's some sort of a shelter here, Scott. Let's step inside a moment, shall we?
All right, dear.
There seems to be a light in here.
Yes. And there's someone here beside us.
Scott, look.
I bid you welcome, good people.
We beg your pardon. We thought this place was unoccupied.
No, do not go. You are welcome here.
I say, haven't we met before?
I believe we have.
Yes, we have. Now I remember. You're the one in my dream. Your name is Word.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God.
The way and the truth and the light.
I am come. a light into the world, that whosoever believeth in me shall not abide in darkness.
The way and the truth and the light.
And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord showed round about them, and said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy. For to you is born this day a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. Be not afraid. Have you not been told, Seek ye the Lord, and he will not be scornful unto thee?
Here in this humble manger, you were born.
2,000 years ago.
Verily I say unto you, I am with you at all times, in all places, even unto the consummation of the world.
Then this is our answer. This is what we have been seeking so earnestly.
Because you have seen me, you believe. Blessed is he who has not seen me, and still believes.
And that is my story. We awoke the next morning feeling more refreshed than we'd felt in all time. The sun was bright, the rain had gone. What was the significance of the house of bread? We didn't learn that until later when I consulted the Britannica. I quote as it is written word for word. Bethlehem, a small town in Palestine, situated on a limestone ridge, 5 miles south of Jerusalem, a city called by the Hebrews the House of Bread.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
There you go. The House of Bread by... Wow. Why does it always do this to me? This is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my life. It is still playing. I don't know if you guys can hear that in the studio. Let me disconnect that speaker. I have no idea. That speaker is actually not turned on, and yet it is still playing. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. As you're joining the Midnight Ocean. That's right. This is not Old Time Radio. This is the Midnight Ocean Radio Show and podcast. We are playing old time radio shows. We're resurrecting them and bringing them back to mainstream. What a great show. The House of Bread. It's just amazing. I hope you're enjoying this because I sure in the heck am. It is amazing that this type of entertainment has gone away. That the airwaves are filled with hate and just, vitriol. If it's not about how to make money, how to make more money, how to do, whatever, or if it's not about this politician against that politician or this agency against that, whatever, you know where I'm going with this. The days of old time classic radio entertainment. I think America longs for those days. And we're going to try to bring them back to you as we uncover some great shows. The series of shows that we're going to be playing here in the next few weeks is Dark Fantasy by Scott Bishop. If you want, you can actually go out to our website at www.themidnightocean.com, and we do have links, or we'll be providing links to individual shows, to individual vignettes. They're about 30 minutes long. If you are on YouTube, we are creating a playlist so you can get them there as well. But wow, this is good stuff. You can download this, if you don't have our iPhone or Android app, go out to our website, themidnightocean.com, get it, install it, and then you can actually download these vignettes as we load them up. The next one is that we're going to play for you tonight is Resolution 1841, and we'll get to that here in a few minutes. But I want to remind our listening audience, if you have not gone out, this is the month of Movember, not November, but Movember, and it is for male cancer awareness. If you go out to our website, themidnightocean.com, I highly recommend, you'll see a banner, nice little mustache. So how it works, on the first day of November, you shave your facial hair, shave it all off. I actually did one step further. Yes, I am bald. Shaved all my hair off. And then you don't shave for the rest of the month. And then you can decide at the end of the month if you want to shave or if you want to maybe get yourself a nice turn up there, like we have in the picture. But the whole reason for this is that, when you don't shave for a month and you shave your head, people are naturally going to ask, why? And then that's the intro, so you can tell them about this great cause. We have joined a team. It's Barnacle-Lee's Nerdgasms team. And so instead of creating my own team, I'll piggyback off Barnacle-Lee's. Great guy. He's the one that, started this. Didn't start the Movember, but he's the one that introduced me to it through his video feeds. So get out there. I think we've raised the team, Barnacle-Lee's Nerdgasms team. I don't want to say that because we do a small donation, but it's the team has raised close to $1,900 in 2 days for cancer AIDS research or for cancer research. So what a great thing to be involved with. And like I said, there's links. If you go out to themidnightocean.com, there's links there that you can click on that will take you over and get you signed up. $1, $5, whatever you can spare. If you don't spare anything, that's fine. Shave your mustache, shave your beard, shave your goatee or whatever you want to do, and then tell people about it. Get the word out. And it's a really cool concept, and I am 100% behind it. So as I said earlier, the next show that we're going to do, story number 2, is Resolution 1841. Now I'm going to throw a little, how do I say? Well, I'm going to throw a little teaser out there. In one of the next 4 shows that we're going to be doing, American actress Jane Wyatt is going to be performing. I want you, I'm not going to tell you which one it is, but I want you to see if you can pick out film star Jane Wyatt's voice as she also participates in these little shows, dark fantasy shows. So the second show, let me give you a little background. The date is January 2nd, 1942, and Laura Cabot has just had a life-changing experience, and she's sharing it with the listeners. Her story begins on New Year's Eve. She and some friends had braved the deep snow and cold north winds to go up to the old Cabot place to see the New Year in. There were 4 of them altogether, Laura, Ed, and Helen Richards, and Ed's friend Duke Tobach. The Richards have accompanied Laura for the last 3 years, and the journey to the old house has become somewhat of a tradition with them. This time, though, they are trying to do a spot of matchmaking between Laura and Duke. So we're going to pick up the story from there as we play Resolution 1841, Dark Fantasy, presented by WKY, Oklahoma City, written and produced by the one and only Scott Bishop.
Dark fantasy. Resolution 1841.
My name is Laura Cabot. It is January 2nd, 1942, the second day of a new year. As I speak these words, even I myself can't believe that what has happened is true. It began only a few short hours ago, less than 48 to be exact, and yet it has changed everything for me, even life itself. I must tell someone, and so I'm telling you. It all began night before last, New Year's Eve. A number of us had braved the deep snow and cold north wind to go out to the old Cabot place, north of Quincy, to see the new year in. There were 4 of us, Ed and Helen Richards, who had just been married a year, and a business friend of Ed's named Duke Toback. We had to leave Ed's car down at the road and walk up the narrow, unused lane leading to the big brick house.
Talk about 1941 leaving with a vengeance.
Ooh, it's cold, isn't it? The snow's drifting deeper.
Oh, Helen, to the right, dear. The house is over there.
All right, Laura. I didn't know we'd have to walk.
Yeah, it'll be good for us.
I wonder what your friend must think of us out like this on New Year's Eve.
Duke? Oh, Duke's a good sport. Besides, dear, haven't we made a practice of spending New Year's Eve in the old Cabot place for the last 3 years?
Yes, Ed, we have.
Besides, Duke wouldn't want to spoil the fun. Anyway, I think that he makes a fine partner for Laura, don't you?
Yes. He's very handsome.
And wealthy. Helen, do you think she likes him?
Well, the way she's hanging on to him and laughing, I wouldn't exactly say she hates
Oh, Mr. Toback, you certainly must think that we're idiots.
I wish you'd call me Duke. I've been calling you Laura all evening.
Well, I guess it's because I'm so fascinated by your last name that I used it. Tell me, how do you spell it?
Just like it sounds. T-O-B-A-C.
Duke.
Yes, Laura?
Spell your last name backwards. Toback, spelled backwards, is Cabot. My name.
I say, you're right.
Well, that's the most unusual thing I've ever heard of.
Well, I'm an unusual person.
Are you?
Don't you think so, Laura?
I really haven't had time to decide yet. But I'm awfully glad you came along with Helen and Ed tonight. We do this every year, you know.
Yes, so Richard's told me.
Oh, this old house has been in my family for more than a century. It was just 3 years ago that I discovered it belonged to me.
That's so?
Mm-hmm. Oh, there were back taxes galore on the place. But I paid them up. And every New Year since then, the Richards and I have spent New Year's Eve
A
here.
charming custom. You know, I rather think I'm going to enjoy being let in on it.
I hope so, Duke. Really, I do. I want this to be the best New Year's Eve we've ever enjoyed. Helen, you and Ed wait up, or you'll have to stand at the door till we catch up with you. All right. Duke, what's wrong?
Laura, wait.
What is it?
Is that the house?
Why, yes. Why?
I don't know. It seems so familiar looking. I've seen it before. Someplace.
Well, if you've seen it, it's been right here.
Come on, Laura. Unlock the door.
Oh, all right. Here's the key.
Here, I'll open it. There. In you go, Laura.
Ooh, for heaven's sake, Ed, come in and close that door.
Yeah.
Hurry, dear. Snow's blowing into the place.
Here, old man, let me give you a hand with that door. Thanks. There. Quite a wintry blast.
Here, stomp off the rug on this rag, the snow on this rag rug. That's what it's for.
Good to know. Oh, boy.
Oh, it's nice and warm in here.
Yes, I'm surprised. You been out here earlier today?
No. Oh, Mr. Johnson owns the farm across the way. He always comes over on the last day of December and builds a fire for us.
You see, he expects us.
The place seems so strange tonight.
Strange? What do you mean, Laura?
I don't know. Does it really feel warm to you folks?
Well, it certainly does.
Of course it does, dear.
It's fine. Boy, it sure makes it handy to come here and have the place all heated for us.
Yes, but it doesn't seem the same in here as it always has before.
Well, personally, I think it's very homey.
Well, so do I. It's a pity no one lives here. It's such a nice place. I've tried to convince Laura she should stay here instead of renting in town.
I've had this feeling before. It's so strange. Almost weird.
Weird? Why, this place is far from being weird.
Oh, of course. Oh, I'm just being silly. Come on, Helen. Let's take our coats into the other room and see what condition the kitchen's in.
All right. Ed, you'd better throw a log on the fire.
How about some refreshments all around, huh?
Oh, you just leave that to us, gentlemen. There are plenty of refreshments in the kitchen.
Yes, indeed. Laura and I had them sent out yesterday.
Smoke, too?
No, thanks.
Well, how do you like her?
Laura?
Mm-hmm.
Charming.
Oh, now, Duke, is that all you've got to say for her?
Well, I haven't known her but a few hours. And yet,
Yes, Duke?
yet, it seems that I have known her before. Somewhere. Sometime.
What makes you think that?
I can't say. Something about her. The way she acts. The way she talks, possibly. I don't know.
Well, have you asked Laura if she'd met you before?
Oh, I thought that rather a silly thing to say. Besides, that's what men always say to women when they're trying to make conversation. And, well, Laura's very easy to talk to. She talks so comfortably with me, and, well, it's as though she'd known me someplace before, too.
Yeah, I know how you feel, Duke. I felt the same way about folks I'd just been introduced to.
Sensations like that are hard to explain.
They're generally not explained. Look here, Duke. This is your first trip to Quincy, isn't it?
Not only my first trip to Quincy, it's my first trip to Massachusetts.
Well, now, Laura's lived here all her life. She's been away a summer or two on vacation, though. Possibly you met her then.
Yes, that could be the answer. But it does seem we've been acquainted before. And the strangest part of it all is, it seems that we were once very close to each other. Very close.
Oh, Helen, will you juice these oranges for me, please?
How many?
Oh, half a dozen to begin with, I guess. Oh, come on over here on the small table.
Oh, all right. Laura,
Yes.
what do you think of Duke?
Oh, I don't know. Give me a little more time.
He seems to be attracted to you.
Does he?
Does he indeed? I caught him 3 times staring at you like, well, with a sort of fascination. Like he couldn't get used to you.
Well, perhaps you're right. Maybe he can't get used to me.
No, I didn't mean that way. I mean, well, he stared at you like he was trying to remember something.
Yes, I noticed that.
And I caught you staring the same way at him.
Yes.
What is it, Laura?
I don't know.
You like him all right, don't you?
That's just it. I feel that suddenly I like him too much.
Oh, now, you needn't fall in love with him right off the handle.
Oh, no, it isn't that. It's a different kind of a feeling. An affection, but not the kind a woman has for a man. It's different from that.
I don't understand what you mean, Laura.
I wonder if I understand what I mean myself. It's something that seems to draw me very close to him.
Oh, love at first sight. I've always believed in it.
No, not that. Something else. Something different. Something greater.
He hasn't made love to you already, has he?
Helen, will you please stop talking about love? Love has nothing to do with it.
Laura, you need a lift. Come on, let me fix you one.
No, not now. You know, Helen, I'm positive I've never met Duke Toback before. And yet it seems that I did know him once a long, long time ago.
Well, it couldn't be very long ago. You're only 23.
No, I mean, farther back than that, even.
Hey, wait a minute.
His name. It's so strange. Toback. It's so very strange.
$11:30.
No, just 30 more minutes, then it's goodbye 1941.
I can't wait. I've had enough of the past 365 days. I want a brand new year to start out everything with a clean slate.
Now you're talking, Laura. Here's to 1942.
Yes, here's to the new year.
Well, hey, I'm in on that.
May all our troubles disappear like bubbles of champagne.
Especially as quickly as the bubbles in any champagne that might be left around our place.
Would you pardon me now? I want to go upstairs for a moment.
I'll go with you.
Oh, no, dear. It's cold up there, and besides, I won't be but a moment.
Helen, you've got work to do in the kitchen. Laura'll be right back.
Yes, I'll only be a moment. Make yourselves at home.
She seems strange tonight, doesn't she, Ed?
Yeah. You know, she was right enough when we left town. You know, the minute she stepped into this house tonight, something came over her.
I think she's quite attractive.
Duke, had you ever met her before tonight?
I know, at least I don't think I have.
Well, that's what she said about you.
She did?
Yes. She acted so strangely, too. She said that you attracted her in a strange sort of way.
Now, that's a pretty compliment.
Oh, Ed. What I mean, Duke, is Laura told me she seems to have known you before somewhere.
You know, that's odd. Duke just said the same thing about Laura, not more than 30 minutes ago.
Duke, you mean that...
Yes. It's so strange. I'm trying hard to remember.
Well, now, I wouldn't worry about it. You know, I've had the same thing happen to me. Just some trick in nature. You meet a person, for a moment you'd swear you'd met him before.
But isn't it strange that Laura should have the same feeling about Duke?
Yes, I was about to forget the whole affair, but now... Well, I wonder.
Well, now, my advice is that you two get together a little more. Talk over the places you've visited, places you've been. Now, I'll wager one of my Christmas ties you met at the seashore. Or at Santa Anita, or maybe on some dude ranch.
Possibly, Ed. But it doesn't seem that way. You know, I haven't said this before, but even this old house seems familiar to me.
It does?
Yes. When I first saw it outside, I stopped dead in my tracks. Something seemed to stop me, and Well, I'd have sworn I'd walked up that same lane out there dozens and dozens of times.
Well, that's incredible.
This room, with its high ceiling and huge fireplace, these pine walls, the heavy oak floors, the decorations, they all seem so vaguely familiar.
But why should they? You've never been here before.
No, I haven't. Don't you two think it's getting chilly in here?
Yes, a little.
Oh, there are no more logs. I guess I'd better go fetch a couple.
No, Ed, I'll do it.
Now, there's no reason for both of you to go out in the cold. Ed, you go.
No, isn't that just like a wife? No, Ed, you stay here. I know exactly where the logs are. I saw them when I came in. I'll be right back with a couple.
Better put a coat on, old man.
No, it won't be out long enough. The wood's just around the corner of the house.
Oh, Laura, I didn't see you come back.
Oh, he's gone to get some logs for the fire. Insisted on going alone.
Laura, what a beautiful dress.
Hey, those aren't the clothes you wore out here.
Wherever did you find such a quaint outfit, darling?
It's a dress my mother used to treasure. It's been in my family for almost a century.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I thought it would be fun to put it on tonight. I found it upstairs in an old trunk.
Just wait until Duke sees you in that dress. Maybe that'll help him remember where he knew you before.
He thinks he's known me before.
And Helen says you feel that you've met him before, too.
Well, yes, I do feel that way, but... Oh, I don't know what to think. I'm so upset tonight.
Laura, what is wrong tonight? Ed and I've both noticed it.
Yeah, what's wrong, Laura?
Oh, I didn't want to mention it, but...
There. Something is wrong.
Well, can we help you?
No, I couldn't ask you to. Well, you two know how very fond I've grown of this old house and the property.
Yeah. He certainly spent a lot of money putting it into shape. I still don't see why you don't live here.
Oh, it's the memories and more than anything. And the fact that my grandmother and her grandmother and hers lived here for so many years.
Oh, Laura, you don't mean you're going to lose the place?
I'm afraid so.
Oh.
You see, it's heavily mortgaged. I'm in debt more than $3,000. I can't meet that debt.
Well, that's a little more money than we've got right now.
Yes, quite a bit more. Oh, what's that?
Duke.
Oh, Ed, see what's wrong. For heaven's sake, don't just stand there. Hurry.
Duke! Lord, man, your head. What happened? Speak to me, Duke. Are you all right? But here now. Take it easy. Now, I'll carry you into the house. Come on now. Arm around my neck. That's it.
Is he all right, do you think?
Yeah. There's quite a pile of wood out there. Picked up a piece near the bottom, and the lot slid down on him. Just knocked him out, that's all.
Oh, he looks so pale. Here, loosen his collar. There. You better take his tie. That's it.
Oh.
Duke?
Oh.
Duke? Are you all right?
Feeling better now, old man?
What? Is something wrong?
You had an accident, Duke. Do you feel all right now?
Lord.
Yes, Duke?
Lord. Why'd you call me that, Lord? Who are these people?
Duke, why, you'll be all right.
Who are these people? Why am I lying here? Where's your mother, Lord?
You'll be all right now. Just lie still.
Why do you speak like that? Why do you look at me like that, daughter?
daughter?
But what's the trouble here? Suddenly you're so strange.
It's you who are strange.
What? You call your father strange? You call me, Jeremiah Cabot, strange?
Jeremiah Cabot?
Of course, Jeremiah Cabot. Don't tell me I have to remind you who I am.
But Jeremiah Cabot was my mother's great-great-grandfather.
Duke, for heaven's sake, what's the matter with you?
This is so strange. I'm afraid I don't know your friends, Laura, and you, young lady, or you, sir.
Oh, now, Duke, cut the kidding.
Just a moment, Ed. I think I'm beginning to understand.
For a moment, child, I thought you were my daughter. Now I know the truth.
Yes, that must be it.
What, Laura? What on earth?
Just a moment, Helen. Jeremiah Cabot. He built this house. His daughter was named Laurelyn. The name has been in the family for a century.
Laurelyn. She looked so much like you. I still don't get this.
Ed, wait, I think I can explain, at least partially. There's an old legend in our family that one New Year's Eve, Jeremiah Cabot was asked by his family to join them in making New Year's resolutions. In the spirit of jest, Jeremiah resolved one thing: to return to this earth 100 years from the night he made the resolution.
That's it. Yes, of course. The resolution. The brick in the fireplace. The brick.
What does he mean?
I remember now. Here, I'll show you. This brick. This one behind the others. See? It's loose. You can remove it.
But what are you trying to tell us?
Here. You see? A hiding place behind the brick. This is where the papers are hidden. And the money.
Will somebody please tell me what's going on around here?
Ed, that's real money.
$10,000. You see? It's just been hidden here for years. And here, pictures. In the original deed to the Cabot property.
What? This is most amazing.
And this is what I was looking for. Here, Laurelyn, read this. Go ahead, child. Read it.
What did it say, Laura?
Do you want me to read it?
No. Just a moment. It's quite faded. The ink is almost gone. It says, I, Jeremiah Cabot, being in my right and sane mind, do solemnly resolve this night to return to earth again. Exactly 100 years from now, if it be within the realm of power. Signed, Jeremiah Cabot, December 31st, 1841.
What happened? Is something wrong? What am I doing here? Oh, my head. Duke. Why are you all looking at me like that? Oh, I remember now, the logs. Ooh, cold in here.
Duke, where are you going?
No, Ed, you stay here. I know exactly where the logs are. Saw them when we came in. I'll be right back. Resolution 1841. Tonight's tale of dark fantasy, written by Scott Bishop. Charles Carshon played Duke Toback. Manny Jo Curtis was Laura Cabot. Eleanor Naylor Corrin was Helen Richards. And Ben Morris played Ed Richards. Next Friday night at this same time, the National Broadcasting Company will bring you the 8th in this series of stories of the supernatural and the unusual, created for you by Scott Bishop. Listen for the weird and haunting The Curse of the Neanderthal, the story of a grave 40,000 years old, and the awesome secret that it contained.
That's right. That was the Resolution 1841, written by Scott Bishop in 1941. The series Dark Fantasies started in November 14th, 19. How amazing is that? It's kind of weird, to be honest with you, that we're resurrecting this about the same time that the series started. But you're listening to the Midnight Ocean radio show and podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Norton. You can join us here live every night, weeknight, from 10 p.m. till 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or on the web at www.themidnightocean.com. This is the month of Movember. So for those that are out there who are curious on what that means, go out to our website. Take a look. It is Male Cancer Awareness Month. And the way that you participate is you shave your facial hair and then you don't shave for the rest of the month. So you guys out there who always wanted to grow a beard and your wives and girlfriends won't let you, you say it's for a good cause. Remember that time you made me walk 10 miles? Well, I just want to shave my face for a month, not shave for a month. It's a great cause. For more information on how you can join and participate, go out to the midnightocean.com, scroll down. You're going to see the Movember logo that you see in the windows right here. Click on that. That's going to take you over to the team page. I have joined Team Barnacles Nerdgasm. That's who I'm teamed up with. Hey, if you're going to hook your wagon to someone, hook your wagon to someone successful. And I definitely did that with Barnacles. He's actually, him and Jay's 2 Cents are my two favorite. If you guys want to know what podcasts I listen to or YouTube shows I watch religiously, it is Jay's 2 Cents and Barnacles Nerdgasm. Yeah, it's you got to put your geek hat on, but it's pretty funny. And thoroughly enjoy the shows that they produce, the content that they put out there, and just the vast amount of knowledge that they put out there in the technology community. But I will have to tell you, it's probably, as my good friend James would say, it is basement dweller stuff. It is geek stuff. There's no doubt about it that it is definitely geek stuff. So moving right along with tonight's show, the next show in the series is entitled The Curse of the Neanderthal. When artist Amanda Loveland paid a visit to Nana Canyon, it is noon, and she intends to paint a picture. She never finishes her painting, though, because as the light began to fade from the day, there is a landslide, and the debris blocks the only way out of the canyon. Night is approaching, and although the canyon is picturesque in the daytime, it is not a place where Amanda wishes to linger after dark because Nana has a reputation. It is said that the canyon simply oozes with ghosts at night. So without further ado, this is Dark Fantasies, written by Scott Bishop, performed at WKY, Oklahoma City, in 1941. And this tale is called The Curse of the Neanderthal.
Dark fantasy.
I am the Neanderthal man.
Operator? Are you there, operator?
She's probably gone out for a spot of tea.
Or a date with one of the music hall boys.
You people be quiet.
Isn't she pretty when she's excited, Hayes?
Oh, quiet.
Operator. Operator.
Why would anyone be so anxious to call one's sister anyway?
I can't for the life of me imagine.
Will you two please go take a walk or something? Operator, are you there?
You could write your sister a letter, you know, instead of trying to call her long distance.
I'd probably get in touch with her sooner. Are you there, operator? Oh, I had her on the line just a moment ago.
Now, if it were her young man she were calling, I'd know why she's so very anxious.
I say, old man, it so happens I am the lady's young man.
Oh.
Well, I'll have nothing to do with either of you if you don't stop teasing me.
My dear girl, do you really want to get that call through to your sister?
Oh, no, I'm just standing here jiggling this receiver for the exercise. Ajax says it's good for the arm muscles. Operator, will you please answer?
Here, old girl, let me have a try.
Reggie, go away. Don't bother me.
Permit me, milady, to assist you.
No, Reggie.
One side now, one side.
Reggie, this call's important.
Just why I'm so anxious to help you. Now, look here, operator. We've been trying... Huh? What's that? Oh, operator. Yes, into a telephone transmitter, but if... I say now, look here, my girl, if you want...
Give me that receiver.
Oh, but Mandy...
Are you there, operator? Yes, I wish to place a call. We were disconnected. This is Amanda Loveland. Yes, at Lookout Point. That's right, the artist colony. I wish to speak to Miss Grace Loveland, number 12, Garrett Street, London. Yes, that's right. How soon can you get through to London, please? Very well. Will you call me back? Thank you.
There, you see? The damsels always come running when a gentleman calls.
Oh, Reggie, save your humor for some other time, will you?
I say, something wrong, old girl?
I don't know.
Why do you use that tone, darling?
Well, look here, Amanda. Nothing wrong with your sister, is there?
No, it's not that.
But something's wrong. I can tell by the way you've been acting.
Yes, you were certainly never in such a hurry to call Grace before.
I'm anxious to know where she was today.
Where she was?
Yes. She was supposed to be attending a tea party in London, but... Well, I've reason to think she wasn't there.
Well, so suppose she wasn't. Why should that upset you?
Perhaps if I tell you, you'll understand.
Yes. Something's wrong. I certainly want to know about it.
Yes, Amanda, by all means, tell us what's troubling you.
Yes. Yes, I must tell somebody. Reggie, will you please close the door?
Well, certainly, darling.
Now, Amanda, sit here.
No, I'd rather not sit down.
Say, you are upset.
Yes. I had the strangest experience this afternoon.
You did? Where?
In Nanor Canyon.
So that's where you were today.
No wonder we couldn't find you. Reggie and I wanted you to go up to the falls with us.
I went into the canyon to paint.
We gathered you were off somewhere working. I noticed your equipment wasn't around any place.
You've been there, haven't you, in the canyon?
Oh, not I. I've been planning to go there, though.
Oh, I've been a couple of times.
Why didn't you tell me you were going into Nanor? Why, I've gone along.
There's only one way into the canyon from this end, you know.
Yes, near Flagstone Point. It's 12 miles to the other end.
Well, I arrived at Flagstone Point about noon. So I climbed down the path and picked out a shady spot in the canyon to eat the lunch I'd taken along.
Yes?
After that, I looked around a while and then picked out a scene near the entrance to the canyon.
To paint?
Of course, to paint haze.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, dear.
It was a perfect scene. The light was just right, so I spent most of the afternoon there until the light began to fade.
Did you finish the sketching?
Yes. Filled in a great deal of the color. It was really going to be quite good.
What do you mean, going to be?
I'll never finish it.
Why, dear?
Because I never want to go back there again.
Well, what on earth happened?
Oh, why doesn't that operator get that call through to London?
Amanda, tell us what happened in the canyon.
Yes, for heaven's sake, the suspense.
What happened was like a nightmare.
Darling.
Yes, like a nightmare. Just as I was getting ready to pack up my things, I heard a noise behind me. A low, rumbling noise. And when I looked around, I saw that a side of the canyon was caving in.
My word, landslide?
Yes. The whole side of the canyon was falling away, making a terrific noise about it. Left a sheer vertical cliff there, where it had been sloping before.
Yes?
Right where the only path down into the canyon had been.
You mean you were trapped there in the canyon?
I certainly was. With night coming on. And you know the stories they tell around here about Nanor Canyon.
Yes, they say the place is simply oozing with ghosts at night.
Oh.
No, really, Reggie. The place does have a reputation.
Oh, I've heard the stories, but you don't want to believe everything you hear, you know.
Well, how on earth did you get out of the canyon, Amanda?
I had a beastly time of it.
Did you get out before dark?
I certainly did not. As soon as I saw that the path was cut off from the land side, I started walking along the side of the canyon, trying to find a way out.
But there are no others.
Didn't I find that out? I walked and walked, and all the time it was growing darker and darker, and finally the sun went down, and a ghostly gloom settled over the canyon. I began to walk faster, but I couldn't find any place that looked like a way out. I've walked for miles. No way out of here. Oh, dear, it's so dark. All I can do is keep walking. Oh, what's that? Oh, some night bird. Yes, that's all. Such a weird sound. I've never heard anything like it before. Thank heaven it's gone. That's strange. That bird was the only noise I've heard in this place. No other night noises at all. Good heavens! What's that up there? Light. Shining on a human figure. Am I losing my mind? It's Grace there in the light. Oh, no. Oh, no, it can't be. Grace! Grace! It is Grace standing there in that strange glow of light. Pointing. Gesturing as though trying to show me a path out of here. Yes. Yes, she is directing me out of the canyon. The light. I can see the way out. Grace? Grace, is that you? Is that you, Grace? Oh, no, don't go! David. The light's fading away. She's gone. There's still that strange light shining on the way out of this awful place.
You mean to tell us there actually was a path leading up out of that canyon?
How else do you suppose I got back here?
Amazing.
That strange light continued to glow until I found the path and managed to climb up. When I looked back, it was pitch dark in the canyon.
Amanda, are you certain you didn't dream all of that?
Oh, for heaven's sakes, Reg.
No, I don't think it was a dream.
Well, what makes you say that?
Oh, well, it must be London. Are you there? Yes? Yes, this is Amanda Loveland. Yes, ready for my call to London, thank you. Oh, you there, Grace? Oh, darling, this is Amanda. Oh, fine, thank you. Darling, have you been in London all day? Oh. Oh, no, nothing's wrong. Oh, no, don't worry, dear. Everything's all right. Yes. I may be coming to London soon. All right, darling. Take care of yourself. Goodbye, dear. Grace has been in London all day.
Surely.
There in the canyon in that strange light, I saw her as plainly as I see you now. But the voice wasn't hers.
Then how are we going to account for what happened?
There is only one way to account for it.
You mean... Hey, you think you know what happened to me?
I think so. You was guided out of that canyon by a swarf.
A what?
A swarf. It's a name commonly applied to a supernatural spirit with the power of impersonating some earthly being.
Impersonating, you say?
Yes, there's no explanation. Except that swarfs have often been seen in these parts. Now, this particular spirit took the earthly shape of your sister and helped you find a way out of your temporary prison.
No, I don't believe such things happen, Hayes.
Well, you'd certainly believe it if you'd experienced it like I did.
Yes, Reggie, you're wrong. Those things do happen. Swarfs do appear in this vicinity. But that's weird.
Well, it certainly is. See one's sister appear in a place in the darkness and speak in a voice, and then to learn she was actually hundreds of miles away at the time.
Amanda, is this the landscape you were doing?
Oh, yes.
Mind if I have removed the cover and have a look?
Oh, no, go right ahead. Just as I left off, I was packing up.
Here, Hayes. You better let me give you a hand. If you spoil one of Amanda's paints, she'll... I say, look.
Amanda, have you seen this since you left the canyon?
No. No, I told you I haven't.
Look at it. There in the right-hand corner.
A strange, monstrous-looking creature lurking in the shadows.
Amanda, were you conscious of the fact you were painting that fantastic creature into the picture?
No. No, I wasn't. I hadn't even noticed it.
That's very strange.
Yes. Isn't it?
If your perspective is correct, Amanda, that creature is about 8 feet tall.
A huge, fiendish thing.
But how did it ever become a part of my painting?
Yes. How?
Well, we'll find out.
What do you mean, Hayes?
We'll go down into the canyon and have a look.
No, not me.
Oh, I mean tomorrow, of course. When it's daylight.
How much farther, Amanda?
We're practically there.
What amazes me is that you couldn't find the way the swarf pointed out to you last night, Amanda.
I'm sorry, Hayes. It doesn't seem to be there today.
Oh, well, what's the difference? Didn't take us long to come in from the other end of the canyon on horseback.
Yes, the only thing that annoys me is that we couldn't ride the animals all the way.
Oh, well, the walking won't hurt you. Besides, we've only been afoot a few hundred yards.
Oh, here we are. This is the spot I was painting. I set up my canvas over there on that little mound.
Then, according to the sketch you made, that fearful creature was lurking about here.
Reggie, look here.
Bones. Human bones down there in that crevice.
Oh, I say, those can't be human bones.
No, they're much too large.
I should say so.
You're wrong, both of you. They are human bones. I've studied anatomy enough to recognize the clavicle, humerus and ulna of the human arm, and the femur and fibula of the leg there.
Joe, Hayes is right.
This was some gigantic prehistoric creature. Heaven knows how many years old.
Could this skeleton have any connection with the ghostly figure in my painting?
It could, yes. It's just possible that the spirit of this prehistoric man is himself a swarf.
And can take on a human shape. The spirit, I mean.
Precisely. He saw Amanda sitting there on that mound, painting. He assumed a shape she couldn't make out, but one which her professional brush caught in the sketching.
Then he could have assumed the form of my sister.
If our theory is correct, yes.
That's fantastic.
But how can we learn anything about this thing that was buried here in this crevice?
There's one way I know of. We can consult Dr. Gustav.
By Jove, you're right. Dr. Gustav's staying at the colony.
Well, then let's go get him and bring him here.
Yes, let's. Who knows? We may have discovered something entirely unknown to our civilization.
Well, Dr. Gustav?
Yes? Your suspicions were correct, my friends. These are human bones.
Can you identify them, Doctor?
I most certainly can. This was a Neanderthal man.
Neanderthal? Well, the Neanderthal man existed thousands of years ago.
True, Miss Loveland. From 20 to 40,000 years ago.
There's no mistake about it?
Not the slightest. This is the fossilized remains of an ancient man. Here. Most probably surpassed the modern Europeans in size and ability.
How long ago did you say he existed?
The date of his culture may be put down tentatively as extending from 40,000 to 20,000 BC. The Neanderthal man appears to have been the sole occupant of Europe during the middle of the Pleistocene period, throughout the time in which the Mousterian culture prevailed. He buried his dead with great signs of respect. He worked flint implements with great skill. He was a fine hunter. Lived in caves and rock shelters.
But, Doctor, after all this time, his remains should be quite deep in the earth.
I know. And he undoubtedly has been buried deeply through the centuries. But this crevice and exposed his burial place.
Look. Did you men see this?
What, dear? A stone tablet.
There's some sort of strange pictures on it.
Let me see, please. Yes, sir. Just so.
What is it, Dr. Gustav?
Why, this is the final proof. This is the picture writing of the Neanderthal man.
Can you decipher it?
I can, indeed. And now, let's see, this portion here, my left, that's indiscernible, but the rest of it reads, "Who moves my bones will surely die as I have died."
A curse.
Well, then, let's take his advice and leave him alone.
Oh, not on your life, sir. Why, this is one of the most amazing finds of the century. These bones must be removed to the museum and reconstructed.
But the warning on the stone tablet.
Oh, nonsense. Miss Loveland, nonsense. Do you think a curse can continue to exist through 40,000 years? 400 centuries? Oh, no.
Well, Mandy, this is the museum. Ever been here before?
Once, when I was a child. Uncle Reginald brought me.
How long has it been since the Neanderthal man was brought here?
Oh, at least 6 weeks.
Well, Dr. Gustav said in his letter that the man had been completely reconstructed. The skeleton had been placed in a standing position in a special room.
There's the room, see?
Oh, yes, the sign over the door. The Neanderthal man.
Let's go look before we visit the doctor, shall we?
Right. Hey, here we are. The door was open. Why? But this room is empty.
Yes. But there's a stone base over there. Everything might have been built up on it.
That's strange.
I beg your pardon.
Yes, what is it?
I am called Banff. Could you direct me to Dr. Gustav's study?
Oh, why, yes. It's at the end of the hall. See, his name is in black letters on that frosted door pane.
Oh, yes. I thank you so very much. Pardon me for having disturbed you.
Reggie.
Amanda, that man, Jove, what a giant. At least 8 feet tall.
Such bushy eyebrows and no far. He looked like an ape.
And what was wrong with his neck? He held his head crooked over to one side. One shoulder humped up in a terribly grotesque position.
Did you see whether or not he went into the doctor's office?
No, I didn't.
Reggie, if I didn't know better, I'd think that man was...
Was what?
Nothing.
I know what you're thinking.
That warning, Reggie. Who moves my bones will die as I have died.
Amanda, look.
What?
There in the room, on the stone base, the skeleton of a prehistoric man.
But it wasn't there just a few moments ago.
Good Lord, come on, into the doctor's office.
Dr. Gustav!
Dr. Gustav! Dr. Gustav! Good heavens.
Oh, Reggie. What's happened to him?
He's dead. Broken neck.
He was sitting at his desk, writing.
Writing? Report on the Neanderthal man. Look. He just completed one sentence. It is my finding that the death of the Neanderthal man discovered in Nanoth Canyon was caused by a broken neck. Dark as his death.
The Curse of the Neanderthal. Another original tale of dark fantasy, written by Scott Bishop. Ben Morris was heard as Reggie, Eleanor Naylor Corrin was Amanda, Murilo Schofield was Hayes, Fred Wayne played Dr. Gustav, and Darrell McAllister was Banff. Next Friday night at the same time, we'll bring you another story of the fantastic and the unusual, created by Scott Bishop. Listen for Death from the Past, a strange, weird adventure laid in modern America with the flavor of the 19th century. The story of a businessman who was almost too honest and who found a method of paying a long-standing debt of honor, although 30 years in his grave. Dark Fantasy originates in the studios of WKY, Oklahoma City. Tom Paxton speaking. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
There you go. The Curse of the Neanderthal. I do apologize for those that are listening to that. Audio quality was not as it should have been. And I do apologize, but hey, sometimes these things, these were done in 1941. They were stored down on acetone on basically a record. A lot of the magnetic recordings have been deteriorated, and it is such an effort to get them restored. I will work on that next couple of days, see if I can clean it up, and then also send it back to Old Time Radio. The people who so generously work on these to get them in the shape that they are in. Trust me, I've listened to at the National Archives. I've listened to a lot of these radio shows in the raw format, and it is such a vast amount of work to get them so that they can be listened to and enjoyed again. So, but we'll work on that one. And I do apologize, but it's still a great story. It is still a great story. Didn't know where it was going. Like I said, these are the first times I am actually listening to these as well. Well, that leads us to our very last story of the night. And it's called A Debt from the Past. Have you guys figured out yet? Jane Wyatt? What show she was in? Which one? Has she been in one yet? Who knows? Stay tuned. We got more. So, The Debt from the Past, this episode of Dark Fantasy features the vocal talents of American actress Jane Wyatt. I just gave it away. Who stars as Mary Billings, a young lady who is out of work and desperate to find a job. Things begin to look up for Mary when she sees an ad in the local newspaper. Wanted stenographer. If you are ambitious, talented, and reasonably attractive young woman who can use a typewriter, the adding machine, and can write shorthand, apply in person to Mr. Gibson. Friday night after midnight, room 1313, Temple Building. After midnight, you say? Don't know. Well, let's, without haste, let's listen to Dark Fantasy, written by Scott Bishop and performed at WKU or WKY in Oklahoma City. Debt from the Past, featuring American film artist Jane Wyatt.
Debt from the Past, starring Jane Wyatt.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, yes?
Is that your newspaper lying there on the park bench?
Why, yes, it is.
May I look at a moment, please?
Why, if you wish, of course. Here, I'll move over. Sit down.
Thank you.
Well, there you are.
I hope you don't think me forward. I'll only be a minute.
Oh, take as much time as you like. Here, will you roll yourself a cigarette?
What? Oh, no, thanks.
Sorry, I can't offer you a tailored one.
Oh, quite all right, thank you.
Out of a job, hmm?
Yes, but don't tell me I look that desperate.
No, Well, I notice you've turned to the help wanted columns.
Yes, but somebody seems to have been there ahead of me. These ads are certainly all marked up with pencil.
Maybe you can say that again. I was lucky even to find a pencil.
Oh. You, too.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. Nobody needs to feel sorry for me. I'll get along.
You've been to all these places you marked here in this column?
Sister, I've been there and then some.
And you didn't get one of them?
No, not one. Why, look at the soles on my shoes. Here, look. Those are yesterday's want ads I'm walking on.
How long have you been out of work?
Oh, I don't know, about 10 weeks. First, I had a lot of dough. I thought I was a wise guy. I wouldn't have any trouble getting another job.
I was wrong. I dropped all my money, and I've been sleeping here on this park bench for the past 3 weeks.
When do you eat?
Whenever I can. Today, I'm all right. I got a chance to make a couple of Iron Men yesterday.
Iron Men?
Bucks, dollars.
Oh.
You, been around town much?
Well, I've been here about 2 weeks. I came up from Sandville.
You have people here?
No. My father and stepmother live in Sandville. Well, my stepmother and I have never been anything more than barely civil to each other.
Oh, I get it. So you've come here to get a job?
No, I've come here to get a job.
How much money you got?
Well, I really don't think that's anyone's affair.
Oh, bother. You got to be formal about it. My name's Mark Matthew.
Mine's Luke John.
Oh, I'm serious. My name is Mark Matthew. I wasn't named after the two gentlemen who helped write the Bible.
Well, my name's Mary Billings.
Well, Miss Billings, I'm mighty pleased to know you. Now that we're thoroughly acquainted and completely good friends, you tell me when you ate last.
I'm all right.
You look hungry.
Oh, yes, I guess I am.
Join me for a hamburger?
With onions?
As you like, and a cup of coffee.
Is that a date?
Mary, I'm sorry I can't buy you a 35-cent blue plate.
I'd love a hamburger, Mark.
Then it's a deal.
Okay, Mr. Matthew, it is a deal.
Want another hamburger, Mary?
No, thanks. Two's plenty. You shouldn't have made me eat that second one. I'm sure you can't afford it.
Oh, I know where I can make $1 or so tomorrow. I'll buy some cigarettes if you don't think you can roll
No,
one.
thanks, no. And don't buy any. I really don't smoke much.
Say, you're a nice girl to know. Inexpensive.
I really don't know why I'm letting you do this for me. I'm not in the habit
Oh, I know. Neither am I. But my Irish mother taught me never to ignore a pretty young woman who is hungry. Say, you are pretty, you know.
I thought you were going to be different.
Yeah, I'm different. I say I'm going to feed you hamburgers, and I feed you hamburgers.
Oh, and good ones, too.
Don't I know they're good? I've been eating them for weeks.
Ma, I think I'll answer this ad.
Say, did you drag that old beaten-up newspaper in here, will you?
Certainly I did. I'm still looking for a job, even if my hunger has been temporarily satisfied.
Well, if you can find a job out of that bunch, you're a better job hunter than I am.
Well, you haven't tried this one. Someone's looking for a woman.
Sound good?
Very. Listen. Wanted. Stenographer. If you are an ambitious, talented, and reasonably attractive young woman who can use the typewriter, the adding machine, and can write shorthand, apply in person to see Mr. Gibson, Friday night after midnight, room 1313, Temple Building.
Do you think you can fill the bill? Are you ambitious?
I can use the typewriter.
Are you talented?
I can operate an adding machine.
And, are you reasonably attractive?
You told me you thought I'm pretty, remember? Besides, I also know how to write shorthand.
Then apply for the job by all means.
I think I will. But, I don't like this apply after midnight angle.
Yeah, it is very unusual. Why at that time of night?
Well, maybe it's a night job. Anyway, I'm going to have a try at it. Room 1313, Temple Building. Where's the Temple Building?
On the other side of town.
How far, Mark?
Oh, about 10 or 12 miles.
Oh.
Hey, you need car fare. Here, take this $50.
Oh, Mark, Well, I'm not going to argue about it. I'll take it. And I'll return the money tomorrow night. I get a small check from my father tomorrow morning.
That's all right, Mary.
I'll meet you... Well, let me see. I'll meet you here in the park at the same bench, and I'll let you know how I come out about the job in the Temple Building. Yes, this is the Temple Building, all right. Awfully quiet in here. Dimly lighted. Nobody around. Not even a whole quarter. It's a very strange place. Here. Here's the building directory. What is the man's name? Oh, yes, Gibson. Gibson. No Gibson listed here. His company's name is probably here, but I don't know that name. Now, how does one get up to the 13th floor? There's an open elevator, but there's no one to operate it. Oh, here's the type you operate yourself. Just step in. Press the button marked 13. The door's closed. And up we go. Oh, my. Better say a little prayer that I get this job. Amen. There. Here we are. My, it must be a night job. This entire floor is one huge office. Row after row of desks with people working at them. And brilliant lights everywhere. This city must be a big country.
May I help you, miss?
Oh, yes, please. I've come in answer to the ad in the newspaper.
Ad?
Oh,
Advertisement?
yes.
I'm afraid I don't know what you mean.
Mr. Gibson advertised for a young woman to do typing and shorthand. Here, I've cut out the ad. This is it.
May I see it, please? Thank you. I see. Mr. Gibson failed to tell me he had inserted an advertisement in the Bee.
Oh, but this isn't the time.
I'm sorry, young lady. Mr. Gibson uses only the Bee. You'll find his office right down this aisle, the first door to your left. Room 1313.
Thank you.
Just knock on his door and he'll answer you.
Yes, thanks. It's strange. These people all seem very modern, and yet their dress are quaint. They look old-fashioned. Oh, here's the door.
Come in, please.
Mr. Gibson?
Yes, come in, please, and close the door.
Thank you.
Sit down, young lady. Don't just stand there.
Yes, sir. I've come about the job, sir. The one you mentioned in your ad,
What will we
I
do
never
with all of these
advertised
deadlines?
anything but the
Presenting
Bee. You read my advertisement in the Bee, I'm sure.
You want a stenographer, one who can type, use the adding machine, and take directions.
Yes.
I'm very ambitious, Mr. Gibson, and I feel that I can learn the work quickly. I'm easily taught.
Good.
Your ad asked for a moderately attractive girl. I'll try to be neat and tidy, sir.
My dear young lady, if your qualifications are as you claim, I feel you'll do very nicely. Here, take this pencil, please, and this pad. There now. Are you ready to take a letter?
Yes, sir.
Address it, Mr. Hugh Lanning, 1501 Tower Building, City. Dear Mr. Lanning, we have received your order for the office materials listed on your invoice, and I shall personally see to it that the items ordered are assembled, boxed, and shipped to you immediately. We are exceedingly thankful for your order, and we trust you will find our service up to its usual promptness and carefulness. If we may serve you again in the future, please be assured every attention will be given to your desires. Yours very truly, the Acme Office Supply Company by Jonathan Gibson. Got that?
Yes, sir.
Now, will you type it up, please? And use that machine over there. You'll find paper in the drawer.
Yes, sir.
How old are you, young lady?
22.
Your name?
Mary Billings.
Where were you born?
In Sandville. That's about 35 miles from here.
Are you ready to start work tonight if you prove satisfactory?
Oh, yes.
What salary will you expect?
That'll depend upon the work, sir. You must know what's fair.
Well, say $20 a week.
So we say that to begin with. Then if I do more than $20 worth of work, I'll ask for a raise. It's my opinion that employees should be paid according to the amount of work they do.
True, young lady. Quite true. What's your home address, please?
2132 Melrose. I'm only there temporarily. Will you please sign this, Mr. Gibson?
Yes? What? Sign what?
The letter you gave me. It's ready.
Finished? Already? Young lady, you're quite efficient. Let's see. Typing is neat. I like it.
Thank you, sir. I hope I may have the job.
Yes, of course. But one thing, Miss Billings.
Yes, sir?
Your clothes, my dear. Shall we say, a little too modern.
Modern? I thought them quite conservative.
The neckline and the skirt length and the sleeves. I'm afraid, Miss Billings, you'll be compelled to wear a tight neck dress, long sleeves, and a skirt to the ankles.
Like the others outside, I guess, sir?
Yes, exactly. And the rouge and lipstick. We don't use cosmetics for the Acme Company, Miss Billings.
Very well, sir.
And the short haircut. Bob, I believe it's called. You will let your hair grow out, Miss Billings. Meanwhile, you will add a switch to your hair.
Yes, Mr. Dixon.
Now, if you just step outside and speak to the young lady at the reception desk, she'll show your place to work and assign your duties.
Mr. Dixon, I can't thank you enough. I work very hard, and I'll try to be a credit to your company.
I'm sure you will, Miss Billings.
May I tidy up your office before I take over my work?
Tidy up my office?
Well, yes, if you pardon me. You really could stand a little cleaning and dusting. So many cobwebs and dust everywhere. But these windows look like as though they hadn't been washed in years. And your calendar needs changing, Mr. Gibson.
My calendar?
Yes, look. It says April 16th. This is January 16th.
My dear girl, you're mistaken. This is the 16th day of April.
And the calendar says 1912.
That's right. This is 1912.
But Mr. Gibson, this is 1942. And it's January, not April.
My dear young lady. Are you in earnest?
Why, of course I am. This is the 16th of January, 1942.
Oh, certainly. You must be jesting.
No, Mr. Gibson, I'm not jesting. It is not 1912. It's 1942.
I can't understand what would lead you to say a thing like that. Here, young lady, this newspaper. Today's. Now look at the date on it. April the 16th, 1912. There, you see?
Gibson, you say this is today's newspaper?
Of course it is. Look at it yourself. Fresh ink. Smell it? Fresh paper.
Yes, you're right. But those headlines.
Yes, a terrible disaster.
The Titanic sank at sea on her maiden voyage.
Yes, she hit an iceberg. A sad tragedy.
That was 30 years ago. Long before I was born.
What was that? I'm afraid I don't hear very well these days.
It wasn't important. Shall I take over my work now?
Yes, if you will. We need your services very badly. Business is exceptionally good, and I admit it's difficult to find a young woman with as much ability as you have.
Thank you, Mr. Gibson. I'll try to live up to your expectations.
I feel certain you will, Miss Billings. If there's anything you don't understand, just ask the young lady at the front desk.
Yes. Thank you, I shall. Thank you very much, Mr. Gibson. Mr. Gibson said to see you about the work I'm to do here?
Yes. You use desk number 27. That's over there, the one with the rosebud in the vase.
Yes, I see it.
I believe I'll let you work on the first of the month invoices. Here, use these invoice blanks. The books are on that metal table by your desk.
Yes, thank you. How do you want the invoices dated?
May 1st, 1912.
May 1st, 1912.
That's right. That'll reach our customers the first day of May. And, did Mr. Gibson mention about your clothes?
Oh, yes, he did. But he said I was to go to work now and take care of changing later.
Very well. You'll find paper, pencils, and erasers in your desk.
Thank you.
I filled out this form for you. Tell me if it's correct. Name, Mayor Billings. Born at Stanville, age 22. Let's see, you were born in 1890 then, weren't you?
That would be 22 years ago, wouldn't it?
Your hours will be from midnight until 8 a.m. You may take time out at 4 o'clock for refreshment. 1 hour. If you have any questions about your work, please don't hesitate to ask me.
Miss Billings speaking. Yes, Mr. Gibson. In your office? Yes, sir. I'll come in immediately. Yes, Mr. Gibson, you sent for me?
Yes. Sit down, Miss Billings. The dawn will be here soon, Miss Billings.
I don't have a watch.
And there are no clocks in the office. Billings?
Yes.
Yes. The dawn will soon be here. And all too soon.
I haven't been here long, Mr. Gibson, but I enjoy the work I've done so far.
Yes, Miss Johnson reports you give all your attention to your work. She reports that you're extremely efficient.
Oh, I'm glad, sir. I've tried to apply myself.
Yes. You were just as I expected you would be.
What was that, Mr. Gibson?
I mean, I could tell by the work you did in here for me that you would be quite capable.
I hope you like me well enough to allow me to keep the job.
I want you to go home now, my dear. You've done quite enough work for tonight.
But I'd just as soon stay my full time.
No. Won't pay to overwork the first day, you know. Here, Miss Billings, is your check.
My check?
Yes, you probably need a little money.
Why, yes, but...
No. Just cash the check and get what you need with the money.
But this check is made out for $80.
Yes. I believe that was the amount, wasn't it?
Why, I don't understand.
Would you mind going now, Miss Billings? The dawn will soon be here, and... Would you mind going now?
I know if you wish.
Thank you, my dear. And may I wish you every happiness, Miss Billings. Every happiness in the world. Good day now.
Mary! I say, Mary, wait for me.
Oh, Mark, I've been waiting so long. I thought you weren't coming.
Oh, Mary. Oh, boy, am I glad to see you. I can hardly wait all day to hurry here and tell you the news.
News?
Yes, I've got a job, and a good one. $55 a week.
Oh, Mark, I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, and I got some swell ideas. I'm going to tell you one of them before long. Hey, how about your job?
Well, I got it, Mark, but I don't know what to think about it. Everything was so strange.
Yeah? What happened?
Well, I went to the Temple building, and I took the elevator up to the 13th floor. And so, I took the check and left the building, just as the dawn was beginning to break.
That's odd. Very. Look, Mary, you have to go to work at midnight, you say. Do you mind if I go along?
I know. I suppose it'll be all right.
Good. I want to get a look at the kind of a businessman who'd have a 1912 calendar on his office wall. That's some elevator, You push the button for yourself.
I guess they figure you cut down overhead. No operator. Here we are. Mark.
Hey. Are you sure you pushed the right button?
I'm positive. But look at this place.
Well, I thought you said this entire floor was an office.
Yes, it was. But now, there's nothing but one dim light. Heaps of junk and boxes, barrels, and stuff here.
But this floor isn't used for anything but storage space.
But there were desks here, lots of them, and people working.
Oh, but Mary, there couldn't have been.
Wait a minute. Mark, lying over there on the floor.
Oh, let's see. Oh, something glittering over here. It's a lipstick.
Mark, it's my lipstick.
What?
Yes. I missed it just after I left the building early this morning. I must have dropped it here while I was waiting for the elevator.
Then what you told me did happen.
Yes, Mark. I'm very certain of that. Very certain. Come inside a minute, Mark, will you? I want you to see the check the little man named Gibson made out to me.
Yeah, I want to see it.
There's something else I want you to look at. Something I brought with me from home. Come in.
You said this fellow Gibson had a City B newspaper on his desk.
Yes. Dated April 16th, 1912.
Well, you might not know it, but the B went out of business in this town 20 years ago.
But the ink was fresh. And the paper. Any newspaper printed 30 years ago would have been yellow and faded.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, is that the check?
Yes. Here.
And for $80. Wait a minute. Do you notice this, Mary? The check's made out to Margaret Billing.
Yes. I noticed that this morning, but I thought Mr. Gibson had just made a mistake. Now, I think I know the answer.
You do? Say, what are these things in this little box? Your souvenirs?
Yes, more or less. Here, this lace handkerchief.
Oh, it's lovely.
It belonged to my mother. Her name was Margaret.
Oh, I see.
And this is a portion of the diary she kept up to a year after I was born. Let's see, 1912. 10, 11. Here's 1912.
What are you looking for, Mary?
I'm not sure, Mark. February, March, April. Here, April. April 16th. Here we are.
Well, Mary?
Mark, listen. Here's what my mother wrote in her diary on April 16th, 1912. Today, the Acme Office Supply Company on the 13th floor of the Temple Building declared bankruptcy. 42 employees were left without work. And with a month's pay due each of us. I went to Mr. Gibson, the owner, and asked for at least a portion of the money he owed me. But he said he was unable to pay us in.
Director Mel Gibson.
He promised, however, to pay me the $80 he owed me just as soon as possible. This was bad news for me, indeed. Almost as bad as the news the headlines carried in the day's paper. Titanic was sunk at sea on her maiden voyage.
Dark fantasy.
You have heard Death from the Past, a tale of dark fantasy starring that popular Hollywood actress, Jane Wyatt, and written especially for her by Scott Bishop. We wish to thank Miss Wyatt for her most excellent portrayal tonight of Mary Billings, and we join Jane Wyatt in urging you to do your bit toward the cause nearest to President Roosevelt's heart on his Diamond Jubilee. Give to your local Mile of Dimes committee. Ben Morris was heard tonight as Mark Matthew, Eleanor Naylor Corrin was the office manager, and Muir Height played Mr. Gibson. Next Friday night at this same time, we'll bring you another unusual tale of dark fantasy, The Headless Dead. Miss Wyatt appeared tonight through the courtesy of the RKO Studios.
Dark Fantasy originates each Friday night in the studios of WKY, Oklahoma City. Tom Paxton speaking. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
There you go. Scott Bishop's Dark Fantasies performed at WKY, Oklahoma City. I don't know if you guys had my headphones on, and I don't know where that feed came. Well, I do know where it came in. It came in off of one of the, I was on CNN trying to, other known as Clinton News Network, trying to get the update on the Cubs, and I guess they are in a rain delay, tied 6-6. But man, did that scare me. I hate when they do that on browsers. You go to a browser and you're doing, and then all of a sudden, boom, the video starts blaring in the background. I do apologize for that. But that concludes tonight's Dark Fantasy show. Wow. Good times. We're going to clean some of those audio up. Those are, first time I listened to them. They're reproduced by Old Time Radio Group. It's actually a group of audio engineers who go in and they fix and they repair and things like that, trying to restore our national treasure of American radio. So we can't always get it right, or they can't always get it right. So, and those were restored a while back. We have newer technology, so I'll go in and update them and share that back with the group. And of course, share the updates with you guys. Tomorrow is going to be a great show. We're going to have Jonathan Young's going to be joining us live. And we're going to be talking about all things folklore. Who knows? We're going to be talking about Sasquatch, black-eyed children, dogmen, all things folklore with Jonathan Young tomorrow in the studio. It's going to be a great show. Look forward to it. Next week, we'll have a full bill of guests. This week was kind of crazy. And also on the 8th, this is a program note, on the 8th, we're going to be doing election coverage because I think it is that important. And we'll be taking calls from our listeners. But I just want to tell everybody, thank you for joining us tonight. Stay tuned tomorrow. Make sure you get back here tomorrow as we talk with Jonathan Young. Going to be an outstanding show. We've been going back and forth for 2 months now, trying to get a date that works for Mr. Young. And tomorrow is definitely the date. We've planned it a month ahead of time. So without further ado, I just want to say thank you. Make sure, hey, you guys get out to our website, www.themidnightocean.com. If you're watching us for the first time on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. We will be bringing you more content, more interviews. If you haven't done so, go back and listen to some of our older interviews. They're pretty cool. They are timeless. Most of our interviews are timeless. So get back there, take a listen to them. Outstanding interviews. And we're getting to that point where a lot of our older guests we're going to be bringing back onto the show, as I am tongue-tied. It was a little bit different doing a straight-up radio show versus actually doing interviews. It is kind of weird, kind of bizarre. But it is all part of mastering the craft of radio. When you're out on our website at themidnightocean.com, make sure you hit the Movember link, get signed up, do your part. If it's just $1, that's great. If it's a couple dollars, that's even better. And if it's a couple dollars, that's outstanding. And we thank you very, very, very much. And we appreciate it. Also, check out Barnacle-Lee's Nerdgasm's YouTube site. It's good stuff. I don't think he always needs more viewers. He's got over 250,000, 780,000 subscribers and stuff. Talking about subscribers, we crest the 300 point today. Thank you very much. We're ahead of schedule. Our goal was to add about 100 subscribers a month, and we're right on tap with that. And we're picking up steam, but I appreciate it very, very much. Well, as we end the night, you that listen all the time know what that means. Our good friend Ed Roman. But if you can be anything, be love.
I can coda, but I learned it from my baba. It's not what you believe, it's what you do.